All right. Okay. Okay, everybody. Hello. We are here about to kick off our project broadcast tutorial. The first one, I'm pretty sure we'll have more, maybe more interest, more in-depth training if necessary, but we're here with our new friend Dawn from Project Broadcast, and she will be sharing with us the basics on how to use Project Broadcast. It is I mean, from what I know, from what I've used it so far, it is a great resource, a great tool to connect with just one click, connect with as many people as you want, whether it is dozens or hundreds or thousands of people, so that we can get a message into to leads, prospects, customers, follow up, whatever we want to do. And Project Broadcast is a great tool that I know many people in our profession use, many people in our company are using it. And so I wanted to like really see how I could maximize it. I use it right now to send like updates to my customers. I use it to send like birthday messages and quick messages to customers. I mean to the team. I love that it doesn't use my phone, that I have the choice to connect a different, like to set up a different number, so that my phone is not like, you know, beeping all the time, but that I have a place where all the information is available. And so anyway, so I'm really thankful, Dawn, that you're here, excited that you're here. And I won't take more of your time because this is your platform today.
Well,
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for inviting me. And I just, I wasn't going to talk about this tonight, so I'm glad you said it. I like that you said that you have a separate number that allows you to keep some boundaries with your business where, when we have business conversations coming to our personal cell phone, we can't really separate those out, right? But with Project Broadcast, and again, this is not something I was going to talk about, but I'm glad you said it. With Project Broadcast, since it's a different app, different phone number, I even at the end of the day, move it to a different screen. I have notifications off and it's on a fully different screen on my phone. So like I'm still getting text messages from my mom and my husband and my friends, but business talk is not coming in there. And it's just such an important boundary to have for your mental health. So thank you for saying that. And then just really quickly, I'm going to share screen, but I do want to say that tonight's conversation is going to be mainly strategy. We can do as many tutorials as you want, absolutely, that the how to do everything we talk about. But I think it's really important to have an initial discussion that is why you want to do certain things, how you want to talk to people, and then as a secondary conversation, how Project Broadcast can be a tool for that. Because anytime you talk to me, I am, and I hope we all talk a lot, but anytime you talk to me, I'm always going to say, who do you want to communicate with? How do you want to communicate with them? Why do you want to communicate with them in that way, to really make sure that you're being intentional about your communication? And then, yeah, let's talk about Project Broadcast. How can we make your life easier doing all of those things you just told me about? But I would never ask anybody to learn Project Broadcast without an intention for using it. And so just to be super transparent, tonight's gonna be all strategy. And then if there are any questions that pop up, or Paula, you want me to show something specific in Project Broadcast at the end, I'm happy to do that. So I'm going to go ahead.
And that's important that you're saying that, because yeah, we want to know like what are we able to do with it, and what, so that we can say, okay, you know what, this is definitely something that I want to implement. This is something that I want to learn and I want to start using. And one cool thing is that I know that you guys have a lot of videos and a lot of resources, so we can also talk about that. Like it's a lot. It could be a lot.
Sure. Yeah. And that is one of the things I'm talking about tonight. It really is like, the beauty and the curse of Project Broadcast is it can do so much. the odds that you need to know everything it can do are very small. You only need to learn what Project Broadcast can do for your business and then continue to learn and grow. But there's not a textbook I'm going to hand you and say, go learn Project Broadcast. That's not the way I operate at all. So it really is going to be talking about you and your business, and everyone who's watching the recording, same thing. We're just going to talk about, how it can serve you first. So let me go ahead and close all this unnecessary stuff and get this Canva presentation going. And just so you're aware, the presentation is really just to keep me on track. I tend to get very excited about Project Broadcast and kind of nerd out and go on tangents. So these are for me to say, no, this is what you need to talk about tonight. Don't go off over here. Yes. So this is just for me, but I do have a couple of questions along the way for you all. I know we have a small live group here tonight. So Paula, I may just ask you to unmute and kind of share some things since we won't have a lot going on in the chat tonight. But we're going to start with introductions, mainly to me. Paula already kind of introduced how she uses Project Broadcast, which is great. And I just have a couple of questions about the business so that I can get to know how to support you all a little bit better. And then we're going to talk about what Project Broadcast is, why you might need it in your business, and then kind of what next steps are before getting into questions. For me, I always need to know like what the very next step is, and then the next step and the next step, so I can implement things like this. So we kind of finish off with what's next. So normally this would be a chat thing. And if you're, busy, I know we have some people live here, but if you're busy, you don't have to answer in the chat. I just kind of like to know what skill level we have in the group. So if you're able to answer, that's great. If you're not, that's fine. But you are just answering your current Project Broadcast skill level. So you're a 1 to a 4, 1 being you haven't signed up yet, 4 being you're pretty much an expert. You can lead trainings, you can help friends out. And then 2s and 3s are kind of in between. And this just helps me know who I have here tonight. And you can drop those answers in the chat anytime. And don't feel obligated to do that. Go ahead.
I'll tell you, I think the majority of the ones that have an account, use it for sending a text message, like for sending a group message, and but I don't feel like I can explain it to other people.
Perfect. So so this is going to be very helpful, I think, for 1s, 2s, and 3s. I still think it holds value for 4s, but it really is tailored to those first 3 numbers. So that's good to hear. And then just want to introduce myself. So I'm just looking at this border right here. I really should have edited this a little bit better, but anyway, so I'm Dawn. I'm with Project Broadcast Customer Success Team, and our whole job on the customer success team is to make sure that people feel comfortable using their accounts. And that really consists of 2 different things. That is the technology, the technical side of things. What buttons do I push to do the things I want to do? That's a piece of it. The bigger piece to me, and I've already said strategy about 1,000 times, but it really is being strategic about using Project Broadcast. And that is really where our team shines. So getting to know you, getting to know your business, helping you really get a clear vision on your ideas for communication, and then showing you exactly how to set that up in Project Broadcast and being there kind of along the way to answer questions, to check your work once you have an automation set up before you roll it out. We're really your people for that. My number is here. It's 254-545-9626. It's also under my video. It's also on the participants list. So when you text me at that number, if you do it from your personal cell phone, that's my Project Broadcast number. I get it in my Project Broadcast account. And if you are a Project Broadcast user, I'm a built-in contact in your account. So if you search success, I will come up in there and you can chat with me in there if you ever have any questions. And you can also email me here. You can scan the QR code. It takes you to some other things. But basically, I'm Dawn. I'm here to help you. I wanted to share a little bit about how I came to be here. I don't want to take up too much time, but I think it helps you to kind of see how I can help by knowing my background with Project Broadcast. And so I started using Project Broadcast almost 4 years ago now, just for fun. And I was talking to my friends about it because I loved it immediately. I love automation. I love technology. Not everybody does. I know that. But I was talking to friends about it and they wanted to use it for their businesses. But most of them did not want to take the time to learn how to do it. And so they hired me to run their accounts for them. So I had my own little Project Broadcast business for a couple of years. And then Jake Dempsey, the CEO of Project Broadcast, hired me a little over a year ago to do exactly what I was doing for clients, but he wanted to foot the bill. So you all don't pay me. He pays me and you get all of my strategy services. So that's kind of how I came to be here. I'll talk a bit about training later on and all of the resources you have access to, but just be aware if you are joining Project Broadcast at this time or in the last year or so, you are so lucky because when I joined, there was not very much training out there. And so I learned Project Broadcast by clicking buttons and making lots of mistakes, but that's how I learned it. And that's why I know so much about it now. Okay, so here's a question for you, and Paula, feel free to unmute if we don't have anybody in the chat. But I started asking this question because I think we see a lot of different cultures across our Project Broadcast users. So we have a lot of direct sales network marketing companies that we work with. I think we have like 60 plus that we're working with now. And some are very open and friendly and collaborative, and some are a little more serious. And, so I'm always curious, how would you describe the culture of, is it Zaya? Okay.
I'm muted. So yeah, it is Zaya. So yes, we collaborate a lot. But I'm not sure. Like, we collaborate when it comes to graphics and things like that. Yeah, we help we try to, put resources and content out there.
Okay.
I don't know if that's the question.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. And then would you say you're like pretty laid back, easygoing, or more like serious? Like what kind of people does Zaya attract?
I don't know. What do you guys say?
Pitch in, everybody.
What do you guys, if you guys are able to type or say something?
And maybe there's not a clear answer. Maybe the answer is all different types of people, and that's
Yeah, I would say all kinds of people, because it's like busy people.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I know of, one of the things that attracts a lot of us to Saya is that we wear the clothes. So that's a benefit, the fact that you're wearing it, you're showing it. Another thing is we're busy in the sense that, like, almost every day there's something. Like, there's a restock, there's a launch of new items, which we have every week. We also have, like, every other Monday we have new sales announced.
Okay.
Trying to move inventory and things like that. So that's why, to me, the concept of Project Broadcast and just sending out a text and saying, hey, obviously it's not to flood people with messages, but just people who want to know and want to be in the loop of what's going on. I think
Keeping them
that's so
informed.
great, because you can pre-schedule something.
Yep.
You can pre-schedule, send it, see who opened it, like all those little things that I'm sure I'm stealing your thunder, but but yeah,
doing
we're
that.
busy, but we all
Okay.
have the same. It's basically, we all have the same clothes, the same repetitive. It's a lot of busy, but a lot of repetitive, the same activity every week.
Gotcha. Okay. No, that totally makes sense. Thank you. That helps me a whole lot. And I heard you say you all wear the clothes, so you're kind of walking advertisements for the products because you're always like wearing them. So in social media, like you're showing up in the clothes. In person, you're showing up in the clothes. Okay. So this question leads me into this one, and we kind of got a little bit of the answer, but then how do you get new customers? And the question really is, where do you show up? And Polly, you can just answer for yourself. Where do you show up? Do you show up in person? Do you show up on social media? And how do you do that?
In person, I mean, I work for the most part from home. Uh,
Mhm.
I work from home. I'm always home or in soccer and in the gym. So like the people that I come in contact with are usually, similar people.
Okay.
It's the same people often. And mainly social media. I
Okay.
It's posting on social media. The majority of my business is, I would say, just me personally through social media. And I think that's the majority of us in Zaya.
And so right now, and you can answer for yourself or if you know what most people do, but right now, if you were out at a store and you're wearing something, like I just went on Facebook and I saw these little, like these pants, these Zaya pants that
Mhm.
have like this cross front. They're like super cute, adorable. If I see somebody wearing those and I come up to you in public and I say, I love your pants, where did you get those? How do you follow up with me? What are you doing right now, or what do other people do?
Okay. I ask them for their email, or I ask them for their, like, I friend them on Facebook. I try to get their information instead of just giving them my business card. I want their
Mhm.
information, not
Yes.
me giving them my card, because I know I can follow up. I don't know if they're gonna follow up like with me.
100%. And there is a way, and this can be in person or social media, but there is a way that you can use Project Broadcast to do that, where you can get their phone number and automate the follow-up. So it's not one-on-one doing follow-up through email or through Facebook. But we're going to talk a little bit more about that. Thank you for answering that question. That actually helps me a lot to know how you do things. And then so we're going to get into Project Broadcast. This is our little icon here. We're going to start talking Project Broadcast now. So for those of you who do not know, Project Broadcast started as, and is still pretty much, a text messaging platform. We do have a lot of other features that are in there currently that are not text messaging. Like you can build web pages in Project Broadcast. That doesn't have anything to do with text messaging. And we also have other features that are coming soon, but mainly right now, people are using it as a text messaging platform. And I think it's important to talk about the benefits of text versus email, or versus DMs, or, just other kinds of communication. So the benefits of text are that it is super casual. It's really easy to build relationships through text because it's we call it a low friction way to contact people. And what that means is, if I get an email from somebody, I'm expecting to have to read multiple paragraphs and try to figure out how to respond. And when I respond, I'm double checking all of my spelling and my grammar, right?
Mhm.
I'm not responding with a heart emoji to an email. That looks really bad. It's not okay to do that in email. It's against all the etiquette we've been taught. In text messaging, I'm typically receiving a short, sweet, to the point message. I can respond back with an emoji. I can respond back with K if I want to. It's totally acceptable to do that. And so we just go ahead.
I hate it. I know.
The K, the thumbs up. My
I mean,
father-in-law.
I've had to get over it, but whenever when no, I'll tell you which one I hate. When you send, like, I get it with like a promotional thing, like, okay, cool. But when you explain something to somebody or whatever,
Yes.
and it's like K or THX, I'm like, I
I,
want to punch you in
okay.
the face right now. Okay, I won't punch you in the
Full
face, but
full disclosure, I do not respond that way either, but because people know they can, they
mhm,
are much more willing to respond.
yes.
So text messages are getting read more often, they're getting responded to more often. Even if you don't get a response from somebody, the odds are they're reading your message, right? Because we can even just like pick up our phone without unlocking it and see the text message for most people, right? If you have your notifications set up that way. So it's super casual, super low friction, and it's just effective. I mean, you can look up all the data on this, but text message read rates are 98% and email read rates are 14%. So if you're putting in the time and energy to create a message, you want it to be read. And that is not to say there's not a place for email. I think there is definitely a place for email, but I think text messaging is something else you want to add into your business communication if you're going to continue to use email and other forms of communication. The bonus is you own your list. So just like email, you own the list. Once somebody gives you their phone number, you are able to contact them. Whereas on places like social media, I hope nobody here has experienced this, but you can get locked out of your Facebook account, your Instagram account. They can ban you forever if they want to. And if you have your list of interested people in a Facebook group, let's just say, and you get banned from Facebook forever, how do you contact those people? How? If you have not brought them over somewhere else, right?
And so it happened. And as a matter of fact, right now I'm getting some messages from people that are saying that they don't, and this happened to me earlier. The Spectrum, the internet service wasn't working. So if you're trying to communicate something, the internet is not working, you have text message. You can email, you can use social media. A lot of us use social media for the most part. Mainly email. You won't be able to send an email. You won't be able to send messages on Facebook. But yeah, some people are saying that their internet is down. Their Wi-Fi is not working for the computer. So no, totally what you're saying. And it happened. Didn't it happen not long ago that Facebook crashed or something?
Facebook and Instagram. So this was it seems like it really just happened, but it really was about 2 years ago. Or maybe not, maybe it wasn't even 2 years ago. It was like a little over a year ago. I feel like it was an eternity to like October of 2021 or so. Anyway, but yeah, Facebook and Instagram went down for like 11 hours. And what do you do? And so just like with email, I said, there's a place for it. I don't think you should get rid of email. I also don't think you should get rid of social media. I think there should be something else you incorporate in your business to communicate. And that's all I'm saying. Text is a really, really good way to do that. And so the question we're going to be answering tonight, hopefully, is just, would a tool like Project Broadcast serve your business? And so some people it's going to be yes. Some people it's going to be no. Some people it's going to be somewhere in between, and that's okay. But that's the question I want you to be able to answer tonight. So this is my list. Other people's lists might look a little bit different than this, but I think there are 3 main problems that Project Broadcast can help you solve. And the first one is that you spend too much time and energy on outgoing communication. Okay, this is one of the things that Project Broadcast can help you solve. And so you can feel free to weigh in on this, but is there something you're doing today that's effective, but it's repetitive? So like for my example is, if I had somebody placing an order for the first time, I got a brand new customer, right? I would probably send them a thank you message. I think that's a really nice thing to do. So I probably have a standard thank you message that in the olden days, I was storing in my notes section on my phone, and I was copying and pasting to Facebook Messenger, okay? Do you have something like that that's super repetitive? You're just copying and pasting?
Yes.
Okay. Is it new customer thank you? Is it a variety of things?
Yeah, for example, it could be a follow-up message when you have a customer order. I send them a message basically saying, hey, your order is on the way. Let me know when you get it. And then once I give them a couple of days to like get the package, and I ask, hey, just wanted to make sure everything came the right way. I wanted to make sure that you're super happy and you love it. If there's any problems, let me know. So they kind of like that follow up, but yeah, it's the same message.
And so it's super important to do that. Obviously, that's excellent customer care, but anybody could do it. Anybody could copy and paste your message, right? You don't need to be wasting your time and energy doing that, right? Because it is wasting time and energy to copy and paste over and over again. And I always say that, if I got 5 new customers today, I don't mind copying and pasting that many times. But what if I got 25 or 100? Am I going to be copying and pasting that many times? I hope the answer is no. Everybody has a different breaking point, but how much time are you willing to give to a repetitive task like that? So the first problem that it's going to help you solve it, and we'll talk more about this, is saving you some time and energy. The second problem is that you're inconsistent with some of your communication. This does not apply to everybody, but there tends to be somewhere where you're inconsistent. So you don't have to answer this out loud. This is kind of vulnerable sometimes, I feel like, and I'll share my example so I can give an example. But is there something in your business communication that's slipping through the cracks, or you're dropping the ball somewhere with people? My big example is I used to do in-person events like vendor shows, like bridal shows, things like that. And I would have a clipboard where I collected all of their names and their numbers and their interest, right? And the goal is that you are supposed to, some people have slips. So I had a clipboard. The goal is that you have a ton of new leads when you get home, and you're supposed to follow up with them. That's how you convert people to customers, right? I did not do that. So my answer to this question is lead follow-up from in-person events. So I'm a huge introvert. I would be exhausted at the end of these events. I would set my clipboard down in my office and I would never touch it again. Honestly, I never did follow up. If you are somebody who does follow up, think about those slips. Can you read everybody's handwriting? Like, some of it is, it's terrible.
Yeah, many times I'm like, darn it, I just can't. I can't figure it out.
So you lost leads, right? So that is something in your business where you could be inconsistent, and it could be because you're tired like I was, because you can't read the handwriting. It doesn't have to be lead generation. It could be something else. Something is slipping through the cracks for you. Some people, this is order follow-up. Some people, this is onboarding new team members. It can be all kinds of things, but think about your answer to this question, because Project Broadcast is going to help you solve that as well. And then the third problem for me is that you're not seeing the kind of growth that you want to see in your business. So things are moving a little bit slowly. Some of the time it's because of these first two problems. Some of the time it's because you don't have the energy to do what you need to do. You don't have the time to do what you need to do. And so you're inconsistent with communication, right? But that's a third problem. Even people that I've talked to who have fully taken care of 1 and 2 still aren't really seeing the success that they want to see. And I believe that Project Broadcast can help with that too. So the question that kind of relates to that problem is, and this doesn't really have a clear answer, so you don't have to answer, but I just want you to envision a world in which you have an impactful, consistent, automated communication system set up. And this is for customers, this is for team, this is for leads. How would your business grow? How would your business look if you had all of this set up? And I think hopefully the answer is that your business would grow, that you would see growth from this if you had these systems set up. So we are going to help you with Project Broadcast. This is the flip side of those problems. Save time and energy. You're going to be able to increase your impact and consistency. This word should not be here. Ignore it. And then scale your business success. And the way we do that in Project Broadcast is we use it to automate some messages. So for example, I can automate lead follow-up. I can even automate getting their information at my event. I don't do anything. There are no more clipboards. There are no more paper slips. It all happens through Project Broadcast for me. And we have a training on that, and I'm more than happy to share it with you. And we can even do our first training, our first live tutorial on that one. But automation is going to help you with this. Scheduling things out. So if I want to, you said there are restocks, right? If I want to get a restock message out to 700 people, I don't want to type that message 700 times, or I don't want to paste it 700 times. I want to type it one time. I want to add those 700 people to it in bulk and press go. And Project Broadcast allows you to do that. And then the duplication piece, you said you are, it's a collaborative community, you share graphics and things like that. Project Broadcast actually allows you to set up your systems in Project Broadcast, let's say an order follow-up and a lead generation, and you can then share that content with your team, with your people, with your friends, and they can import it directly to Project Broadcast so they don't have to start from scratch. So it really helps you duplicate. We have a feature called bundles that allows you to do that. So if anything's working for you in Project Broadcast, you can share that with other people. So here's where we kind of start dreaming a little bit about how we want to communicate in your business. And this is like, you can take a screenshot if you want. I know this is a lot. I kind of just want to talk through this. This slide is part of a training we have called High Impact Communication. And it basically breaks it down into, you're going to have 5 main categories that you're going to use to communicate with people. And I see them as onboarding, typically for team, follow-up, regular check-ins to stay in touch with people, invites and continuing education, and recognition. And I think, so, when there's a restock or when there's information to share, that really is a kind of follow-up. You're following up with somebody who has placed an order before, typically, right? And so I always ask people to just write a list. Create a list of all the ways you want to communicate in those 5 categories. And if you really don't know where to start, the list on the right gives you some ideas. These are all things you can set up to automate in Project Broadcast. I'm not going to read through all of them, but things like weekly tips for your customers. And this is not necessarily product related. This can be a podcast you heard or a video you saw that you think they, what's that?
It could be a recipe, like
recipes. Oh my gosh. People love recipes. You can even send like a recipe collection. You can do monthly newsletters, text classes, lead generation, I already said, but all of this can be done in Project Broadcast. And it's pretty simple to set up. We have training for all of it, but definitely I would say after you get off this call, I'm going to issue a challenge. If you're watching the recording, same goes for you, but in the next 24 hours, just generate a list of all of the ways that you want to communicate. And then if you have some spare time, prioritize that list. What is the most urgent, impactful, important type of communication? That stuff's going to go at the top. And then all the fun stuff goes at the bottom. Like a scavenger hunt is fun. Your business probably doesn't need one today, right? And so just kind of take these ideas, add your own ideas, and I will let you know how to implement the ideas in just a couple of minutes. So I'm just coming back to the same question that I asked a couple of slides earlier. Just would a tool like Project Broadcast serve your business? So if you had something that would help you decrease the time and energy that you're spending on outgoing communication, increasing the impact and consistency, scaling your success, is there something like, would something like this serve your business? And I do actually, I'm going to say right now, I didn't have this in my speech, but I often hear from people that, when we talk about automation tools, people start to worry that they're going to lose the relational touch. It's going to be impersonal. It's going to feel impersonal to their people. And I'll just say there are a lot of ways to make sure that doesn't happen. I do it by personalizing my messages to people. Project Broadcast has tools within it that allow you, for example, to use somebody's first name rather than saying, hey guys, or hey friends. But the main way that I keep it personal in Project Broadcast is being there to respond when people reply to me. That's the people know there is a human behind my account because I answer their questions and offer them resources and take care of them. People know I'm using a tool. That is not a problem for them because I'm showing up to offer support along the way. So I just wanted to answer that common hesitation really quickly, because when you do talk about using a tool to save you time and energy, you don't want to lose that personal element. That's super important for your business. So what do? You sign up for Project Broadcast, of course. So if you are not already, some of you are past this point, but if you're not already signed up, you sign up for an account. Paula has a link that you can use to get 50% off your first month. these are notes for me, by the way, reminding myself to talk about the referral and credits. So you are going to choose, and actually I'm going to jump over there right now. I'm going to jump to our pricing screen really quickly, just so people can get an idea. You're going to choose your plan based on how many credits you're going to need, but you need to know what credits mean to be able to do that. So we have our plans listed here. You're using a link that is getting you 50% off your first month. So just cut these prices in half. But it says under each plan how many credits you get per month. And so let's just take the starter plan as an example, which I think is the best place to start. I never push anyone higher than that. 500 credits per month means that you have 500 scheduled or automated messages to send. And so I want to give you some examples of what that might look like. If I am scheduling out a message to 300 contacts, maybe a restock message, that's going to be 300 credits because it's one message to 300 people. If I have a 3-message follow-up series and I'm adding 10 people to that, it's 30 credits because it's 3 messages multiplied by 10 people. Okay, so that's how credits are used. So you choose a plan by guessing. And there is guessing how many credits you'll need per month. And there's no downside to guessing wrong. If you choose the starter plan and you realize 500 is not enough credits, you use that in your first 2 days, you can upgrade to another plan at any time. Okay. If 500 was too many credits for you, you don't need to worry because they roll over month to month. They never expire. So for example, if I only use 300 of my 500 credits, 200 are going to roll over next month when I get 500 more. So I'm kind of banking them for super busy times like Black Friday. Is Black Friday pretty big for you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then like the surrounding holidays. So you can save your credits for those busier times. So you're going to choose a plan.
See, like today we got an announcement that it's like a Valentine's Day special.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you want to make, and it's for a limited time, it's only 48 hours. So the quickest way to get people to see and learn about it, I feel like with a text message, like, hey, and it could even be like, hey, this may not be for you right now. It's totally fine, but I figured I'd let you know.
Yeah.
Such great deals, just in time for Valentine's Day. Boom. And
Yeah.
one thing that when I was talking about text messaging to the team, one thing that we just have to always have in mind is people will unsubscribe. Usually every time I send a text message, I get somebody unsubscribing, but I'm constantly adding. So it's okay. Like, it's just, don't take it personal.
What I tell people about the unsubscribe, because I was very sensitive about it in the beginning. And I get, by the way, even as a Project Broadcast person, Project Broadcast users unsubscribe from my messages. So it's okay. What I tell people, well, a couple of things. You want people on your list who are hungry for information. And when somebody unsubscribes, that leaves behind people who want that information. That's good information to have, right, for you. But the other thing is, I unsubscribe from people's messages all the time, and it is never personal. It is that I signed up for something in the past that I needed at that time. I do not need it right now, but I know where to find them when I need it again. And that's as simple as it is.
And it may also be, you know what, I just don't want to get your text message. I'm gonna be on the lookout for your email. Like, I just don't,
100%.
some people are not text, or they see you on social media. It's just that now we have all these different avenues, and people can pick and choose wherever they want to be. If they want in the loop, if they want to be in the loop of things, that's all. But that's super important. Do not take it personal.
Yes, exactly. They're not unsubscribing from you, and they're not unsubscribing from Zaya information because they're still getting that elsewhere. They're unsubscribing from messages about Zaya from you. And that's okay.
And if they are, they're not your people. It's fine.
They're not, or they need a break, which is what I do all the time. I take a break and I resubscribe. So it's never going to be a, like, it's not a day ruiner. It shouldn't be a day ruiner. It really is just like, okay, they're telling you what they want.
Right.
Cool. I'm glad to know that, you know. So after you sign up, you're going to log into your account and you're going to have a message waiting from my team that takes you to this second step, this quick start course. And the quick start course walks you through step by step how to set your account up. This can be done in like a half hour. It is really that fast. And when you do that in your first 7 days, we add on 100 bonus credits. So like, let's say you got the starter plan, you get 100 extra credits to send messages. So that is, I think, a really cool feature. You're going to send an introduction out to your contacts to let them know who you are, why you're contacting them. This is your number, save it in their phone, right? And then thinking back to the list that you brainstormed, you're going to choose the first thing you want to automate. What do you want to set up? Birthday messages, lead follow-up, order follow-up. What do you want to do first? And just remember, you do not have to learn everything. You're going to learn one thing at a time, and it's only what your business needs, that most important thing. We have a Facebook group that you can join for support, and we also have weekly live work sessions that you can join to get questions answered, work on project broadcast stuff. I just want you to know there are resources available. I'll show you a couple of them in just a moment. And then the bonus step for success is just to poke around, explore, ask tons of questions. We have 2 different teams whose jobs are to answer your questions. And so you can find our support team on Facebook, in email, in chat in your account. Our success team, which is me. We have a web school that you can access all of our demand training resources. I'm going to show you in just a second. And then you can access us live at our work sessions and in PV chat. So we are here to answer your questions. Please use us. Paula, it's just you and me at this point. So we don't, and I can answer any questions you have, but I just want to show a couple of resources. And people, no, I don't want to do that. People should be able to access the links in the chat when they're accessing the recording. So I'm going to pop these links in the chat just so they can see them. But the main resource is our on-demand training on our web school. This is all free. Most of it earns you credits for learning. And so that link is here. I'm just going to type in that it's web school and it's training.projectbroadcast.com. If you are not a Project Broadcast user, you can still access all of our training.
Mm-hmm.
Our Facebook group is here and anyone can join. You do not have to be a Project Broadcast user. It's a cool place to kind of like peek around if you're curious, and you can ask questions in there as well. And then the only other thing I wanted to mention, because I mentioned our live work sessions, we have one per week, Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Central, and you can view all of the information about those on this page. Again, you do not have to be a Project Broadcast user to access these trainings. So go ahead and join one of them and kind of, see what we're all about. Mm-hmm.
What's the landing page?
So a landing page is actually, you're looking at a landing page right now. It's a web page that you can build in Project Broadcast. Okay. And so it can have things like buttons so information, obviously you can see, but you can have a button that takes them to your shopping link or takes them to further information. Mine takes them to a Zoom registration. You can embed videos in your landing pages. I have blog posts here that are linked. So a landing page is going to be a collection of information that you can share. It creates a public URL that you can also share. And people are using these for things like monthly newsletters, team recognition pages, recipe collections, weekly recaps, things like that. They are amazing, and they are included with every pricing plan in Project Broadcast.
And you can make as many as you want. Like if I wanted to make one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like
as many as you want.
We could make one for like the business opportunity and
yes,
yeah, question.
Definitely.
Oh, and
Yes.
you can see who opened it, right? Like the status
Yes.
of that stuff.
Yes. So as long as you share it in Project Broadcast, there's a little bit of training involved on this piece, but as long as you share it in Project Broadcast, you can track who views it. If you share it publicly, like with this public URL, I can't tell who viewed it. But you could even have a series of messages about the business opportunity that include the landing page, and you could ask questions like every couple of days about that landing page to kind of draw them back to it. There are so many ways you can approach this, but yeah, you can have unlimited landing pages.
Oh, see. So, and there's a training.
Yeah, we have a new customer care training on Wednesday for landing pages. And I'll just drop, since we're talking about them, I'll drop the training, our general training for landing pages is on Web School. And you can kind of take a peek there. You don't have to come to the live training if you can't, but our intro to landing pages is a very good overview for how to build them.
Okay.
And they are super cool. And landing pages are great because, we do have the training. I just dropped it in the chat, but the best way to learn them is by hopping into one and starting to click around. So I'll show you one. They are drag and drop web pages. So if you're used to Canva or something like that, they'll be really easy for you to pick up. I'm just going to pull, I'll just pull like a test page so you can see what it looks like. You go into the design and you just drag content from the right-hand side onto the page. So I dragged a text block. I'm dragging a divider and a button, let's say. And then all you're going to do is edit this. So this can say whatever you want. That did not work. Hold on. I tried to do it with my Bluetooth keyboard and that does not always work.
So now I have an idea. So, I mean, and this may take a little bit of time, but let's say we can do, let's say on Friday or Saturday morning, if you have a little bit more time, take, say, the new items and restocks from the week,
Yes.
put them into here.
Yes.
Oh,
That is what I was thinking when you said there are always announcements, there are new announcements. I would say a recap page makes a lot of sense. And you could even have on that recap page your favorite product of the week, right? Your favorite pants of the week or your
ways to wear our black joggers, and then we just show pictures of a few different
exactly.
Okay.
And they are pretty quick to put together. It takes, there's a learning curve with anything, but if you just get in here and start clicking around, check out the training a little bit. Yeah, I think you could put a recap page together in the next week if you wanted to do that.
I've always used Project Broadcast from my phone. Now, for this purpose, is it better from desktop?
You can only do this from the computer because it's impossible from the phone. I've tried it before. It is not easy to drag things. And so this is the only thing I'd recommend doing on the computer. Everything else we've talked about tonight can be done from the phone.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, these are awesome.
I could be here all night asking you questions, so I won't do that, but that's
if you create a landing page, please let me see it. I want to see what you come up with. It doesn't have to be right away. I'm just very curious because I would love to see that.
Okay. I will.
And that's all I really have. I know that was a lot actually. But I just want to say again that anybody who, the couple of people who were here live, you of course, and then anybody who watches the recording, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. So you have my number 254-545-9626. And if there's a question or you have an idea and you're not sure how to set it up in Project Broadcast, please send me a message. Please don't hesitate. I'm here to answer your questions.
We definitely will. Yeah, for sure. Oh, this is super helpful, Dawn. Thank you so much. I'm going to upload the recording and I'll post it as soon as possible with all the details and all the extra links that you shared with us. I think it's such a great tool, and I think it's affordable, especially for somebody who's starting. I have the 1,000 one,
Yeah.
And I stopped using it for a little while because of the stop, because people,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh my God, maybe I should just stick to email. But then I'm like, no, you know what? Those are the people that have been around for a while. Maybe they're like, dude, I already know where to find you. I don't need you to send me
Yes.
your, right?
Yep.
But you get new people, new people that, so that's, so I had like 7,000 credits. So I've been
Yeah.
using it more, and I've gotten some like business from it. Yeah, I've got
Good.
people saying stop messaging me,
Yeah.
well, unsubscribing, whatever, but um it's been good. It's
I
super
think
helpful.
the more you use it and the more ways in which you use it, you'll see more growth in business too. So I'm very curious because I know right now you're very interested in how else to use it, right? In extra ways like these landing pages. I think it'll be really interesting to talk to you in 3 months and say, okay, what did you implement? How have you seen your business grow because of it?
Okay, that would be really cool. That's something we can do. I always see, for example, Mel Robbins and Lois House, like all these, obviously I am not like them, but they always say, text me. And I know that that's like a way to subscribe.
Yep.
That's one of the things that I want to implement next. Oh, so sorry. You don't, but Dawn maybe does. Um,
Let me give you that
People
link
like to
because
subscribe.
I would set that up. That's one of my very first things I tell people to set up. So we have a training, I'm grabbing it right now. It's called From Social Media to Project Broadcast. And it is about growing your text list from social media. You can use this in person as well. And that is setting up a word. Let me just type this really quickly from SM to PB. That is setting up a word in Project Broadcast, like join, for example, or VIP. And you say text VIP to me at 254-545-9626 to get access to whatever the thing is, right? Or to join my list. And when you do that and people text you, the system collects their phone number for you and you have them on your list now. So definitely one of the first things to set up if you don't know what else to set up, because that is going to grow your text list, which is going to help you convert customers, which is going to help you grow your team. It really pays off well.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Do people use that a lot?
Constantly.
Okay.
I'd say it's the number one thing people use.
Oh my gosh. And here
It's called, so it's Project Broadcast Keywords is the feature. And they are very simple to set up.
yeah, like for, I don't know, business tips,
Yes.
I don't know, daily encouragement or whatever, things like that. Like
Yes.
I don't always necessarily read them, but like I don't mind getting messages from people. Sometimes you never know. Sometimes you need a little encouragement or something and you get one of those
Yes.
messages. That's great. And they also send you offers, and they send you, hey,
Yep.
my new podcast is out, hey,
Yes.
did you read my book?
Yep.
They just sprinkle something in there, but they're giving value. And in the beginning you mentioned that, like, it's not just necessarily just to sell something, but to keep in touch with people and just show them
Exactly.
value. So
So because they know what you do, right? They know what to come to you for. If you are staying in the front of their faces, like if you're staying top of mind with them by adding value, by sending encouragement, by having them check out a podcast or a recipe that you just made, who are they going to think of when they're ready to buy again? It's going to be you, because you're the person who stayed in touch. And so it really is so important to add value consistently. I don't encourage anybody to only send out sales. It works sometimes short term. It doesn't work very well long term.
I feel if
Value
you're Express
less.
or Sephora or something, you're
Of
expecting
course, yes.
and still you get annoyed with so much.
And I unsubscribe from those
Uh-huh,
because
me
it's the
too.
sales and I'm not in the market to buy again right now. So I
Every day.
unsubscribe. If they were sending me, if Sephora was sending me eyeshadow tutorials or a skincare tip once a week, I would stay subscribed to their messages. But all I'm getting is this is on sale, buy something for 20% off, get free shipping. I'm not buying anything right now, so I unsubscribe. Give me value and I'll stay on your list. And it's the same for almost everybody.
Yeah, it makes complete sense. Absolutely. Oh, I'm excited. And I'm going to post this tonight so people can get access to it, and we'll have it in our library of recordings for everybody to have access to it. You know, I'm all about here it is. We already did it
Perfect.
once. Here it is. It's evergreen.
Yes,
So
exactly.
no, but yeah, but thank you so much for your help. Thank you so much for doing this for us. It's such I usually, this time is a little tricky because of the time differences, but
Yeah.
I know that there's a lot of people looking forward to this training because we want to work smarter, not
Yes.
harder.
Yes. Yes. And then
And this is
let's
actually
set up another one. So let's set up a tutorial. We can set up a social media keyword. We can set up a landing page. If anybody wants to get together to learn the system,
okay.
after they sign up, I'd be more than happy to do that.
Oh, that's good. Okay, let me ask them which one, and we'll schedule.
Sounds good.
Sounds awesome.
Thank you so
Hey,
much, Paula.
friend. Thank you. Let me stop the recording.